Are you curious? I'm curious. This is Curious Lager, and my mate Dave bought me a crate of it, and now I want to know what's going on with it. He says it's a great beer. Let's find out. I'm looking at the label, and it has actually made me quite curious because two things. Two things. We've got a bunch of hops from around the world. That's curious. You got Hallertau Blanc, German, Galaxy, Australian, Cascade, American, and Nelson Sauvin, New Zealand. That's the first thing. That's unusual. Next thing is that it is English premium lager with champagne yeast. We've got bloody breweries brewing beer with champagne yeast these days, mate. That's what's going on. So, yeah, makes me curious for sure. So we got a lager that is got hops from around the world, but when you actually look at it, it kind of makes sense. So I just did a review of a New Zealand Pilsner, and it had Nelson Sauvin in it, because that's a New Zealand hop, and it had a couple of others which are kind of quite fruity, quite citrusy, and that matches with Galaxy and Cascade. That'll give you a kind of citric and tropical kind of juice hit. And then you have your Hallertau Blanc, which is your German noble hop, little bit kind of different. Doesn't usually go much into your German beers. I think it's quite new. I'm not sure. I've never brewed with Hallertau Blanc, but it sounds kind of fancy, doesn't it? Blanc makes it sound quite fancy. So a New Zealand Pilsner uses all New Zealand hops, and it's kind of quite kind of white winey and tropical and blah 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 blah. So I'm curious about this beer because they have gone traditional, then tropical, then white winey New Zealand kind of hoppy. So I don't know what to make of this. Plus the champagne yeast is probably going to make it quite dry. So we're looking at like a dry, possibly tropical, fruity, white winey, but still a decent like rounded bitterness. Very interesting. My ring light has died, so you're gonna have to deal with whatever shadows on my face. I'm not taking the hood down because I'm a bald man and I'm embarrassed. No, not really. I just think I look really cool in a hood. Yeah, man. Let's crack this curious beer open and see what Big Dave's been saying about this beer because he reckons it's pretty decent. And I trust Big Dave, so let's find out. I'm showing it respect as well by pouring it in an Eyinger glass. So that's the height of respect in the lager scene. All right, have a look at that. All right, first impressions. That is as clear as a window. That is elite German brewing clarity. I don't know what they've been doing, whether they've filtered it or they've lagered this within an inch of its life, but it looks like a beauty. Head retention is not as impressive as you'd hope. So I'm not sure if I don't think they're decocting this. Decoction gives you a little bit of a boost on the head retention, but it looks the part for sure. It looks like a German beer, but the hop profile is kind of wacky and it's a champagne yeast. So I've got no idea what's going on. It smells kind of bready honey, and then there's a kind of light floral note to it, which was not what I was expecting from that hop bill at all. So it smells quite muted on the hop side aroma. It is full of bread and honey. So it maybe they've made this beer in a kind of traditional German way, despite the hops that they're using. So I'm now really intrigued, because when you crack open like a New Zealand Pilsner, it's usually quite hazy because it's dry hopped. And when you smell it, it's just a big tropical, citric, white winey kind of explosion in your nose. And this isn't that. This smells way closer to a kind of refined European lager. So interesting, curious is the word. Wow. Yeah, man. That is very curious. That is a that is a proper lager. Like, that is a proper European style lager. That is not a New Zealand hoppy pilsner or anything. Despite the hop bill going around the world and including New Zealand and Australia and a bit of Cascade and all sorts going on, that is drinking like a proper refined European lager. And now I'm even more curious. I need to drink more. So getting that bready honey note from the aroma, it transfers into a malt flavor. It is a soft, low, almost like Heller's esque bitterness. So it's not bright at all in terms of bitterness. It is not a hoppy pilsner. It is more of a kind of Heller's leaning. The champagne yeast made me think this was going to be super super dry, and it's not. It is light and crisp, but it's not too dry. There is kind of malt sweetness there, but it is very very light. So that champagne yeast has dried it out. I'm not sure what we're looking at in terms of an ABV. Doesn't say 4.7%. So yeah, I mean, like, it's not a big beer. Like, champagne yeast, you could either, it's either to dry it out or it's to handle some kind of bigger alcohol profile. Uh, just noticed this won the World Beer Awards gold. So it's a pedigree beer for sure. Um, yeah, man, it's impressive, and I'm not saying that just because I saw the gold medal. I'm not. Calm down. Calm down. Yeah, man, it's got a beautiful kind of balance to it. It's not too dry. There's a soft sweetness to it. The hoppiness is like um, fruity, but not in your face. It is kind of understated, like a German Helles. So it works really well, but it is fruity, and that's where you're getting that kind of galaxy, that Nelson Sauvin, your Cascade. That's all working, but it's not over the top. It's not like dry hopped within an inch of its life. It is a properly produced like European lager, but it's got a bit more kind of hop character, albeit subtle. So it's different. It's a little bit like Utopian using English hops. They're getting that kind of earthy and hedgerow fruit. This is your refined European lager, but with a different subtle fruity hop flavor, which is really great. I'm all for it, man. Like, I keep banging on about this. Like, English beers have been taken around the world and reworked, and that's how you got your West Coast IPAs all the way to your New England IPAs. And even Belgium borrowed ideas from English brewing that hundreds of years ago. They brewers from Belgium visited England and got all the ideas of like open fermentation and all that kind of stuff going on. So like, beer is supposed to be like taken and reworked and reimagined. And I think like German and Czech lagers are kind of protected when they shouldn't be. And I think that's to do with the fact that like those beers went macro and you have your likes of Heineken and Budweiser and all that kind of stuff going on that kind of ruined the game. But like they should still be open to reinterpretation. And this is a great reinterpretation for sure, man. Um, yeah, this is a really, really good beer. And Big Dave is always correct. If you want advice on beer, don't listen to me, listen to Big Dave, because Big Dave knows what he's talking about and he'll buy you a crate of a fantastic beer. So there you bloody go, mate. Um, Curious Brewing have taken New Zealand, Australian, American, and German hops, and they've taken the idea of a New Zealand Pilsner and they've said, nah, we're not doing that. We're going to make a refined European lager, but we're going to hop it to be interesting with modern hops. And we're going to merge the two, and it's still going to be highly respectable as a, old school posh, refined European lager. But it's also like, yeah, man, it's a bit of flavor in there. It's a little bit like me. It's like I grew up in one of the whitest parts of England, but I'm brown. I've got a little bit of tropics in me, mate. Like I come with a bit of spice and a bit of tropical flavor, mate. It's like, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I've got the accent from here, but also I love a curry, mate. That's this beer. It's fucking, yeah, it's bang on, mate. It is bang on. So fair play to Curious. Are you bloody curious about Curious? Because I'm curious about Curious, and this beer makes me curious. And so we should all be curious and just drink this and be even more curious and get bloody curious, mate. At the end of the day, if you're not curious, you're a bit curious, mate.